Alrighty, we're called to order at 12:01 p.m. The executive meeting for the Community Action Board. Introductions. Let's see who Derek has to be here today. Go back to our list and we'll do a roll call as usual. We have Maria Kiss.
Anderson, as I mentioned just before you came on, Miss Gillis and Miss Ziegler are wrapping up another call and they will be joining us shortly.
Okay. Could you let me know when they do? Because my computer doesn't show things at all. And Sharon, I know you're here. Sharon Gordon. Joey Henderson.
Present.
Marcia Sedano. Marcia Sedano. Kelly Mastrada.
Here.
Thank you, ma'am. Noreen Copeland Miller.
Here.
Thank you, ma'am. Regina Gambrell.
Here.
Thank you, ma'am. Rosa Hill.
Present.
William Thomas.
Present. Present.
Zach Mills. Have a Zach Mills on here.
Reporter.
I'm sorry?
That's the contact for the court reporter to make sure that Heidi's here. So he's not going to be here. Heidi's here.
Heidi's here. Hi, Heidi. And then Miss Ziegler will be joining us. Okay, so going back to my agenda.
Good afternoon, Marcia Sedano here.
Hi there.
Hi.
Glad that you joined us. All right. The invocation. Mr. Thomas, could you do the invocation for us today?
Yes, Madam Chair. Heads bowed. Dear Father, we ask you just watch over us as we go about the business of the community of the Hillsborough County. We ask you just watch over those that didn't have the willingness to be here. Allow that we have sound hearts and minds as we go about the business of serving the residents and serving the underserved and underprivileged. These are the blessed we ask our son in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. All right.
Amen.
Pledge allegiance. Okay. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Ms. Hill, could you read the mission statement for us, please?
Yes, ma'am. Mission statement. Hillsborough County Community Action Board partners with community stakeholders to stabilize and empower vulnerable individuals and families to achieve self-sufficiency through advocacy and essential services.
All right, thank you, ma'am. I need to have an approval of the agenda.
So moved, Madam Chair. William Thomas.
I second the motion. Noreen Miller.
Okay, so we have first by Mr. Thomas, second by Ms. Miller. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Hi.
Those opposed? And the motion carries. Thank you very much.
Ms. Anderson, this is Maria Gillis. I have joined.
Thank you, ma'am. All right, we have the standing committee reports. First is going to be the executive committee. And
They have my name, Madam Chair, but I believe that's because you did the last one.
yeah, I did the last executive meeting, which was the main thing that we discussed at the last executive meeting was the election, which that's all behind us now. And I think that went rather smoothly, worked out very well, and got that over and done with. We got the issue we had with the scholarships taken care of. I signed those certificates yesterday with Sharon in Plant City. So those are going out to the kids. So all of that that we talked about, the items we talked about in the last meeting are all sewed up, Rosa. So I'm not leaving you with anything hanging out there. So you get a nice clean bill, a nice slate, and you get to start all fresh with a zero balance. I know you like your numbers, so I put that in there as a little play on words. So that's all I have. So Mr. Henderson, with our budget and finance, you're up next.
Budget and finance, or is that bylaws?
Oh, bylaws. You're right. I apologize.
And I'll yield to, I think, Ms. Copeland Miller.
Yes. The bylaws committee had no action items and everything went well. So there's no report by the bylaws committee. We handing it over to the new successor that I know is going to do a great job with that. So there's no report. Then thank you for the opportunity to serve.
All righty. We also have Mr. Henderson down for budget and finance.
Mhm.
Yes, ma'am. Madam Chair, there was no meeting of the committee. However, we do have Ms. Mastrada back from vacation. We're glad to have you back, Kelly. Is there anything that needs to be brought to our attention that we need to discuss, particularly with the additional dollars?
With the additional dollars, are you referring to the CARES dollars?
Yes, ma'am. I'm sorry.
Okay. Those have not gone to the BOCC for approval yet. Ms. Gordon could probably provide an update as to when that would go. As far as the regular monthly report, I believe your packet probably included the May report. During the month of May, there was about $36,000 spent in family empowerment. The rest of the categories, because of the ongoing pandemic, there's not been a lot of activity on those. I think that will change as far as, when the scholarship payments go out, then that'll bring us more in line of where we need to be. So at this time, we are slightly underspent.
Any questions from exec board members?
I don't have any.
That's our report.
Okay, and then planning and evaluation, Ms. Hill.
Madam Chair, we have not had a planning and evaluation meeting as far as the committee, but I know that the West Central region has a proposal on the table. I'm not sure if that's going to be modified. Ms. Noreen Copeland Miller can address that, as well as Computer Mentors submitted not a proposal, just pretty much a question asking if funds were going to be available, and they threw out some ideas that they might be interested in pursuing as far as the proposal. So I'm still looking at that to see how it fits within the MPIs, and to also discuss it with staff. It's not kids this time. He's proposing for adults and seniors. As well as I have the question, because I did receive a notice, and this is for staff. I did receive a notice within my agency and within my department that the Housing Authority submitted a proposal. So, and they got a confirmation that it had been received by staff. I have explained to them my position as far as the chairperson of the planning and evaluation, and as far as my position as chair going forward. So I need to find out from staff, because I would like to relinquish my position as planning and evaluation, even though I know that I would have to recruit myself on any voting when it comes to the agency I work for. But in order to keep the slate clean, as you guys know that I try to do, I would like to put that chair position up for someone else and not me. Although, going into the new chair role, I know that I will be involved in any discussions, but just to keep a clean slate, I'd like to have that someone else in that position. So staff can advise me and all of us on how that process needs to work.
Well, you can, I'm just telling you how I'm not staff, but I know that whenever I took over as chair, that's your determination to make who's going to go in those spots. In the open spots as far as the committees are concerned. So that's your decision. I know Alpha be more than happy to take any of these open spots if you need, if you'd like. So I'd still very much like to stay involved as much as possible. So.
So that,
Madam Chair, I have my hand raised. I don't know if you all can see it. I'm still learning.
I see now. I can see you now. Yes,
okay.
ma'am.
All right. And I do encourage everybody to read the bylaws. And if you look at section 7 and section 8, the standing committees, usually the chair can appoint someone, but also the board, we ask that they volunteer to chair some of those committees because we have a lot of talent on the board. But if you look at the standing committees, usually one of the board members volunteers to chair it, or he voluntold to chair it. So,
And you are correct, Ms. Miller. I was going to make a point that the bylaws didn't necessarily say that the chairman of the CAB could not chair a committee, but it's not, as long as I've been on the board member, I've never seen the chairperson of the CAB chair a specific committee.
okay. So I would like, Madam Chair, if we could, at the next board meeting, then we can put this on the table to see if someone will voluntarily take this role as far as the chairperson of the Planning Evaluation Committee.
Okay. So you just want, when we're doing the agenda for August, need to make sure that it's on, Derek puts that on the agenda. I'm sure, Derek, you're with us, right?
Ma'am, I will make a note for staff to make sure that that's on there.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Thank
Is
you.
there anything else?
No, Madam Chair, that'll be it. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Question, Madam Chair. Madam Chair, before you move on.
Yes, Mr. Henderson?
Just wanted to ask, with regards to board training, does that go under planning and evaluation? Because I know that Mr. Guida did send out the doodle calendar requesting people to select dates. So I didn't know if that was on there, or is that even on the agenda? I don't see it. Well, yeah, well, we have the budget workshop. Mr. Guida, was that what the doodle poll was for, the budget workshop? Was it for?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not sure. Ms. Gordon helped with this agenda. Maybe you might have some insight on that.
Yeah, actually, that's leading to item F. There was a doodle poll that Derek sent out that was for the budget workshop for the CARE CSDG funding. So we wanted to solidify a date for that.
Right.
So that we can get the planning started.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll hit that.
Yeah, I didn't get a doodle poll for that, but I certainly would very much like to be involved in that workshop. But I didn't get any. I missed it one, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
I did send it to you, Ms. Noreen, but I'll try to send it to you again.
Thank you, Derek.
I got it. I got it, but I'm just returning back to work, and I'm running behind on emails, but I'll try to get mine done today.
Okay, well, I'm sorry for confusing. I was thinking that was for a board training, but suffice it to say, please add item F under the budget and finance report.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
All right. So the public information, Ms. Adano, do you have something for us?
The Public Information Committee met at the July 8th, July 6th, prior to the CAB board meeting, the July CAB board meeting.
and we discussed the scholarships that were sent out, the scholarship award letters that were sent out to all the recipients, and thank you for signing the certificates that are also going out to the recipients. I know there was an issue that was brought up at the Public Information Committee meeting, and I think that's something that staff is handling. And I'm not sure, I think, Maria, I think they were going to bring up the results to that issue at the next Public Information Committee meeting. And then also on the August CAB board meeting. Maria, if you want to, is that accurate? Or would you just bring up the results to that at a different meeting?
This, Marcia, this is Maria. I think Sharon has an update.
Okay,
Yeah,
fantastic.
Yeah, so we were able to resolve that concern.
I apologize. It skipped out. Could you repeat that, please?
Yes, that has been resolved, that issue.
Okay.
So we were able to close that out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh, could you let us know what the were? Because that was, do I need to bring that report to the Public Information Committee meeting?
No, there's no need to move any further with it. The applicant chose to withdraw and possibly reapply during the 2021 scholarship program period.
Okay, thank you very much. And that concludes my report.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Sedona. Okay. Nomination and Membership Committee. I took that one whenever we were in our little whirlwind. And then Ms. Hill, I'm going to leave that. That is kind of one that I am leaving you. Because I know we have to replace that. Membership Committee Chair, as well as the open seat left by Dr. Wright. And I know that that's normally Les Miller's appointee, but my understanding is that he's not running for office again. So I don't know how we're going to handle that. So that is one thing I am sticking you with that one. So that's one that's going to move on with you. To pick a new.
Chair,
Yes.
I just wanted to follow up to see if you sent a certificate of appreciation to Dr. Wright for his service. Were you able to do that?
Yeah, I haven't gotten, I know we talked about that at the board meeting, but I haven't been given anything to sign or.
Well, I think that what you want to do is thank you for your service, and I think that we can help you with that process with all of the stuff going on there. There's a certificate in place. The staff can help you get that out to him. I think it's important that you thank anybody that volunteered their service.
I agree.
So that'll bring some closure there.
I think
Usually with the commissioners will appoint someone, and usually staff will send out a letter. Either the board chair can meet with the commissioner requesting a representative if they know whoever that new commissioner will be coming in. You probably want to just introduce them to the send out a letter, but the board staff they can help you with that. Become the chair and you sign off on the letter.
Madam Chair,
yes.
this is Maria. We did reach out to Commissioner Miller's office to let him know about Dr. Wright's resignation, that we would need another appointee. So they are aware, and staff will work on the certificate for Dr. Wright.
Alrighty, and I will, if it's okay, I want to write a really nice letter to him, thanking him for his service, and I'll get that to Derek. And he can put it on whatever letterhead or whatever it should go on. if that would be appropriate as well. Yes.
Madam Chair, just curious if staff may already have a template letter that they can send to you and you can modify it. That way it
True
saves
that.
a little time.
Do you have like a template letter that's standard?
Madam Chair, yeah, I'm sure we can put together a letter or provide a standard letter and send it to you.
I'm sorry?
Yes, we can provide a letter to send to you to sign
Awesome.
and put it in the proper letterhead.
Are you gonna be in Plant City this next week or?
I'm not 100% sure, but I'm certain I can make arrangements.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Send it with somebody for me to sign.
Yeah.
That'd be great. I can meet them. It's
Mhm.
not a problem.
Excuse me, can I just interrupt for a second? If people aren't speaking, if they can put themselves on mute, there's a lot of interference. I'm having a hard time hearing.
Sounds like there's a TV in the background or something.
Yeah. Thank you.
That better, Heidi? Okay. All righty.
Madam Chair? with
Yes,
reg-
sir.
With regards to the nominations and membership committee, as far as, just double checking, as far as the nomination of the representative from the South Shore Advisory Council, Christine Trimmer, staff, have we gotten information from her? Is everything in order to make the proper appointment to the Community Action Board?
I have not received anything. I'm not sure, Derek, if you received anything.
I have not received anything or really even heard that anything was coming, so.
Yeah. I sent her the information, followed up on her questions, but I have not received anything. But I can follow up with her today, just to see if she's still interested.
Okay. Thank
Mr.
you.
Henderson, one question. This is Maria. Is this an additional person for the low-income sector?
I'm not sure.
Yes.
Yeah, I guess it would be. I mean, as far as from the South Shore area.
Yes.
Just because we didn't have any spot available, but the low-income sector can have as many members as the board feels that they would like to see. So I was just asking.
Yeah. This is Sharon speaking. Yes, she would represent the low-income sector. Because
Thank you,
that's
Ms.
the only sector where we would have slots open that can go beyond the third. So, yeah.
Right, and if I recall, you typically that's what that role has been for the advisory council.
Yeah.
There. Thank you.
And then, but the spot that's open, is it for Dr. Wright's, the position he was in? Was it for the commissioners to have a representative? No? Okay, I mean.
No, ma'am.
Okay.
No.
Alrighty then. Well, then we'll see if Ms. Gordon gets more information from Ms. Trimmer then and go from there. Thank you, Mr. Henderson, for bringing that to us.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
If I may, just a little indulgence here. So just to make sure that the low income is based on the area that the person serves, not necessarily where they live. Is that correct? Because I think we went through that with not only with myself when I was on SAC, but also with my goodness gracious, the former SAC representative.
Right. Mr. Henderson, it is based on where the person lives.
Okay. And so the former representative, and I apologize, I shouldn't be drawing a blank as many times as I've driven her to our meetings, Sandy Council. Because again, I think we had that issue with her, but it found out that her address happens to be right in the pocket in terms of the low income area. If that is the case, then I would reserve the right to nominate her for. Well, then again, I guess the commissioners have to appoint who they want. Is that correct?
That is correct, but she could reach out to Commissioner Miller's office and say that she is interested.
Okay. Well, after you do the due diligence, Ms. Gordon and find out if she is still interested in having representation, then I guess the next step would be to try to find out exactly where she lives. Did you already get her address?
Had the information. She inquired because she lives more so in the Apollo Beach area, but I told her I didn't see that as a concern because that is within the general South Shore area.
Okay.
So yeah.
Once it meets that, then we're good to go.
We still need to run the zip code, and Derek will do that once he gets the information.
Well, so if you have the information, Ms. Gordon, go ahead and have Derek, if you would, Mr. Guido, run it so that we can go ahead and get this resolved before, waiting another 2 weeks before our next meeting. And maybe
Yes,
we can
sir.
have
As
it
soon
all
as I have
resolved. Okay, very good. Thank you.
Okay.
Madam Chair, I wanted to ask a question.
Yes, Ms. Miller.
Okay, in reference to the representative coming from the South Shore, I'm not sure who the chairperson is over their advisory council. Did they submit their the letter with their resume or information for the individual? Or
If you recall in the last meeting, I told you that they were going through I reported that they were going through restructuring. And from what I can tell, it looks like that they're on track with that. And I do believe Ms. Trimmer has been nominated as the chair for that advisory council.
Oh, okay. All right. Thank you, Mr. Henderson.
You're welcome.
Okay, does anybody else have any more questions or comments on this subject? Alrighty, well, that's all I have for that. So we're going to move on to F, the budget workshop. Derek sent out the doodle poll. If you haven't sent your dates in, like me, I'll do mine today. I'll get it done and get it in. And if you didn't get the doodle poll, let Derek know so he can send it to you. Pardon me. Shoot him an email and let him know you don't have it so he can send it to you. I know Ms. Miller says she didn't, so Derek said he sent that. Is there anything else that we need to discuss about this budget workshop?
Mr. Guida, what is the deadline for everyone to reply to the doodle poll?
I'm sorry, Mr. Henderson. It is this evening. Close of business today is what I had done, so that way we could hopefully have some times that would be available.
Okay.
Great.
Thank
Okay.
you. And basically, this workshop is going to be directed by staff. Do you need any assistance or input from exec members or board members?
This is Sharon speaking. We'll just, prior to the meeting, we'll send some information for you to review. This is for the CSBG CARES Act. That way, when we actually move and start the workshop, we're off to a good start and we're prepared. So,
Wonderful.
Yeah.
And then one last thing, once the COB for today, if you would get the notice out ASAP in terms of when the selected date will be, so that we can put it on our calendars, even though we're working from home. It just seems like our calendars fill up quite quickly. So that would be appreciated instead of waiting until the next CAB board meeting. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Anderson.
I agree, Mr. Henderson. This is Miss Rosa. All of us are not working. The Housing Authority, we are home this week, awaiting negative COVID testing for all of our staff. But as the tests come in, staff is required to return to work. So timing, and with the amount of meetings that are scheduled for everybody, timing will be very important. The earliest we can know, the better we can adjust our schedules. So thank you.
Thank you for that clarification, Ms. Hill, because I was going to say that was a very interesting looking credenza behind you if you ain't working from home.
Yeah, I especially like the Eiffel Tower. That's what.
Just saying.
Oh, goodness. So do we have anything else on the budget workshop? Anybody have anything to add?
I have a question.
Yes, Madam Vice Chair.
I have a question. Are you able to hear me?
I can now. I can't now. I lost you again.
Okay, there. Is all board members invited to the workshop, or because as we look at this workshop, that budget, as you all very well know, is we're involved in that process in any programming, all of that, because the dollars, our responsibility to make sure that it reaches the low income residents, to make sure they become self-sufficient, which it does. But with the new way that this the world is going right now, the needs are certainly in some of our prospective communities change, and it won't look the same. So I think it would behoove this board if we're involved, the entire board is involved in the process of making sure that the needs are being addressed from throughout Hillsborough County, because it's a lot going on right now. That's just my thought. I didn't know if we just executive people invited to the meeting or the entire board invited to the work plan meeting.
No, Ms. Copeland Miller, it is the entire board that's being
Okay.
invited.
All right, because I know I didn't get a doodle poll, so either I probably overlooked it, but I'm going to be vigilant in looking at my emails now coming into more better. Thank you. I was just wanting to know that.
Ms. Hill, Ms. Miller, I also just sent it back to you as well.
Okay.
Derek, this is Regina Gambrell. If you can send it to me as well, I don't think I received it.
I did send it to you, but I will resend it to you if you need it.
Thank you.
Thank you, Derek.
And just let me advise my fellow board members to please check your spam if you're, because Derek's pretty diligent in making sure everybody is accounted for. So it may have gone into your spam or your junk mail even.
I've gotten a couple things in my spam, Joey. That's why I check mine all the time. So you're absolutely correct.
Thank you.
Thank you for reminding people.
That's true. Derek does an excellent job of making sure we all are aware of everything. So I agree with that. Thank you, Derek, for.
I agree as well.
Okay, so we're going to move on to our community partnership proposals. Those are the community partnership proposals are the ones from the advisory councils, correct?
Yeah, and just this is Sharon speaking. Just so you'll know that, and Rosie Hill, she already touched on it, Ms. Hill, that we received a proposal from the Tampa Housing Authority, which would go to the Planning Evaluation Committee chair, whoever that may be. So I just wanted to put it on there. And actually, we have an interest from another community partner. Well, they're not a partner with us, but another nonprofit that wants to submit a proposal to the Community Action Board. Where that would be applied, 100% certain. That would be up to the discussion of the Community Action Board.
Okay. Well, Plant Cities Advisory Board does have theirs. I've been ill. I always own my junk. I've been working on it. I'm almost done with it because I'm that one stop girl. I do everything and send it all to you at once. I'm just about done with it. You should probably have it no later than tomorrow afternoon. You'll have Plant Cities.
Okay.
So that Plant City or East Hillsborough County or whatever you want to call us.
Yeah.
You'll have ours by tomorrow afternoon. Because like I said, I've been very ill and I am back in my office, which I is private. So I'm not susceptible to the cootie carriers. So
and Ms. Anderson, I just wanted to, just for clarification, this is the Tampa Housing Authority, and the other one is we've received interest from another board member that has a nonprofit, but we have to make sure that there isn't a conflict of interest. So, they can't vote towards it, have any say towards these partnerships. But when I said where to apply, I'm like, where to apply it within the budget.
But these are the regular ones we do every year, right?
No, these are unrelated. These are unrelated to the advisory council.
Oh, okay. So we are still within our timeline on the ones for the advisory council, correct?
I mean, around this time, we would like to receive those so that we could vet them through the board, get them approved, and get their projects going. So.
Okay, so I'm still because I read the thing and I it looked like I was still in my timeline, and I apologize, but I just have been really, really sick, and I finally got the health care I needed and feeling good and out in the community again. So,
Okay.
what you
Ms.
saw me
Gordon,
today. I'm sorry.
The West Central Region Advisory Council did submit their proposal a few months ago. However, we are revising it to meet the needs of the community in lieu of the COVID-19 virus. So next week I'll have the new revised portion to you on, but we do have one there, but that's, we come to realization that is not going to happen this year. So we're looking at doing something different, but making sure it meets the NPI. So that's what we're doing. I'm going to have our manager at Legal look at it, or either Ms. Gordon. I'll have you check it to make sure we fall in line with the NPI, but I will get the new one to you next week.
Alrighty. Yeah, the COVID did kind of throw some monkey wrenches in a lot of programs, and so it's a shame. I went to your
Reentry Expo.
Thank you, Reentry Expo. It's right on the tip of my tongue. I apologize, and we enjoyed ourselves. My granddaughter, my husband, and I attended that. We enjoyed ourselves very much. It was a wonderful, wonderful program that you put in out there. And so I'd like to actually try to do something like that in Plant City. So I might be knocking on your door for some direction because it was very well put together. It was wonderful. I loved it. So, but Sharon, let me back to the community partnership proposals. These are, you said that one of our own CAB board members put up a proposal for funding. But and you said that explain this to me. I apologize. I'm just going to back up and let you explain it to me.
We haven't received anything. It was more of an inquiry. So
Right.
they may submit something. And we did receive something from Tampa Housing Authority. So it's unrelated to the advisory project. So it would need to be determined in what program slot from what was budgeted, where that would be, where it would make sense and where it would be applied. I guess just like any of the other nonprofits that submits as proposals, and with the hopes that the board can find funds to fund their program. So, I mean, that's all I have.
Yeah. Okay. This is a separate. Okay. I was curious. You you hear nonprofit money, and you have a nonprofit. Your ears kind of go. So, all right.
Madam Chair, if I
Yes.
may just ask Ms. Gordon and staff that, again, your guidance to the advisory councils in terms of what you all see as a need in the areas is invaluable. So on behalf of the advisory council and the others, if you haven't received proposals from all the others, and I think there's only the three at this point, right? Plant City, West Central, and South Shore, because I'm not sure if the university area has a council that's working. But again, your engagement and advice is appreciated. And I would encourage you to just reach out to the chairs of those councils and say, here's some things you might want to consider. I think you guys did that one year. As a matter of fact, that's how we ended up doing the community event with regards to human trafficking. And I think Ms. Gillis actually suggested that. So I just want to encourage you all to engage in that way as well and continue engaging.
Yeah, because especially there's a lot of new things that are needed that are coming about that normally we haven't seen in the past or haven't seen at the more accelerated rate
Right.
than we've seen before. I saw something yesterday that was just crazy. But anyways, we'll move on. Is there anything else on the community partnership proposals? Anybody have anything? All righty, then we're going to move on. Ms. Ziegler, are you with us? Okay.
Good
Ms.
afternoon. Can you hear me?
Oh, there you are. Okay. Yes,
I've
ma'am.
been on. I'm sorry. I joined a little late. A few of us were meeting with Tico about their disconnect date. I don't have anything to share today, but I am available for questions if anyone has questions for me.
Well, what about Tico and the disconnect dates?
We're just trying to gauge how many households will be impacted with their loss of wage due to COVID-19, and how many households will be impacted, what that dollar figure looks like, and then looking at the county's CARES funding in addition to some other programming, and just seeing how anything could overlap to a nice transition to avoiding households being more impacted negatively, because we know if they are impacted, they'll be calling the county. So trying to get ahead of anything if possible. So we're strategizing with them and looking at how many households and how much funding is in arrears, just to try to gauge what's happening.
What is and I don't know who can answer this, and I'm gonna ask you this during your time. Do we, as far as LIHEAP and EHEAP is concerned, are we low on funds? Are we overfunded like we were there for a while, or we needed to use the funds, or where are we at?
Kelly Mistrada can probably answer this better, but I'll take a stab at it, and she may not have to jump in. We are overspent in our LIHEAP grant because of the additional need and the capacity to serve, not to mention staff is much more efficient teleworking, so we're able to process more cases quicker and sooner, and so that's translating to us utilizing the funding more in addition to the extra need. But we did just accept a LIHEAP CARES grant yesterday at the Board of County Commission, so we'll be infusing the electric assistance bucket as soon as those funds are available from the board meeting yesterday.
So will that stop you guys from helping people, or are we still right on target with sending people for help?
No, continue to send your referrals. Okay,
great. I know. I'm telling you right now. I told Ms. Ziegler, I can't remember if it was during the CAB board meeting or if it was on a private a conversation that we had on the phone, but I've had the opportunity to talk to people several people who've done this over the phone, the new appointments over the phone, and it has been so streamlined and working so efficiently. It's unbelievable. People actually prefer it to the in-person, and it's been great. So our community is very happy with the way it's working out so far that I've heard, other than people being angry because they don't qualify. I've had a couple that say they don't qualify, and I'm had to kind of shake my head and kind of wonder why, but it's not my pay grade. So.
Yeah, so we, obviously, just like CSBG, the LIHEAP grant does have parameters that we have to, and eligibility criteria that we have to live within that lane. But with the new LIHEAP funding that was just approved yesterday, that we'll be bringing online shortly for CARES, we will not be imposing the prioritization for for elderly, someone with a disabled member, or a child in the home. So I think the foundation of eligibility criteria will be the same as it relates to your financial situation, or very close to that, but the prioritization for those funds will be lifted. So anyone that did not have a vulnerable household member but still meets the income threshold would be assisted this time around, where they probably weren't eligible based on those factors for regular LIHEAP. So don't start referring for that yet, because we have not launched that program. It was just approved. We don't have the structure in place. But once we do, then we'll be able to accept referrals for a household that does not have a vulnerable member in them.
And so that's what the ticket. Okay, so now I understand why I had one that didn't get approved, and you just answered the question I had in my head. Okay, so that's where the hiccup was with that one. Do we have a timeline about when?
We currently don't. We're working with that new state program, also the SHAW or New Gen program. So we're trying to implement that too, and staff will eventually have dual entry into our county system as well as that system. So we're trying to make it more efficient before we roll that out, but it will be soon.
Okay. Will you notify us when that happens?
Absolutely.
Awesome. Awesome, because I'm your best customer. I send all my people to get help, because that's what I do in here in Plant City is a lot of resource referrals, partnerships, that kind of thing. So I really do need to know that when it happens.
Sure, will do, Madam Chair. Thank you.
Thank you. So you don't have anything else for us, Ms. Ziegler?
I don't. The highlights report was submitted. I think you all touched on throughout your meeting some of the things that I was going to mention, which Maria Gillis covered about reaching out to Commissioner Miller's office. We did so. We're also you're working with Derek to schedule the doodle poll for budgeting information. So everything that was on my list has already been tackled.
We stole your thunder. Okay.
Thank
All
you.
right. Ms. Gillis, what do you have for us today?
Well, most of my thunder has been stolen also, but I will mention that the conferences and trainings that are on your agenda, which have been on your agenda for a while, all of those have gone to a virtual platform. So although it won't be the same, interaction, we are encouraging board members to sign up for those virtual conferences. It's very important. A lot of information is going to be relayed. And it's actually really good trainings that are going to come down the pike, especially for new board members. So I encourage, even though it's not in person, it's virtual. I encourage anyone who can attend to sign up and let Derek know so he can do the registration.
Okay, so the last two conferences have been scratched.
As a in person, yes, they are going
In-person,
to a
yes.
virtual. They're going to a virtual platform.
Awesome. Sika, I tell you, I loved that one. So that's definitely one I would want to be part of, either in person or virtual. I was great conference. So anybody's never been to Sika, you want to sign up for that one. It was great.
Madam Chair,
Yes.
Ms. Gillis, is there money in the budget to have others attend these conferences?
Yes, Mr. Henderson, especially since the cost is now relatively lower since we're not traveling. So that's why I encourage every member that can participate. I think it's a great opportunity for them to hear it firsthand. I even heard from what FACA is doing, and they're going to bring in some heavy hitters, and it would be nice to have as many board members and staff that we can send out, beyond the virtual conference.
With that, and thank you, Ms. Gillis, with that, I would encourage a notice to go out. I know August 26th is a little ways away, but then again, it really isn't in terms of you all planning and what have you. But I would encourage sending an e-blast, a notice out to members, alerting them to the fact that it is now going to be virtual. And I would hope and think that more members will sign up as a result of that. And that still they have to commit to those days and not, say, yeah, well, I'm not going to go today. I mean, the 26th, 22nd, 28th, I'm taking personal days to make sure that I don't have to have interference with my job to be able to attend. But now, even virtually, you can get interference from other factors if you're not really committed to attending. But again, I just, that would be my recommendation, because I'm sure members aren't aware of the fact that it's moving to virtual. It doesn't surprise me. I'm glad for it, actually, because I was really thinking about asking you all to take my name off the list.
Henderson, that's a great recommendation. We will have Derek send out the information for the upcoming, I believe we have 2 or 3 that are upcoming that have already gone to a virtual platform. So we'll have Derek send it out to all board members and see what interest we get back. I think it's very important, especially for the newer members, to get their feet wet and kind of jump in and see what community action is all about.
Absolutely. Thank you.
So, Mr. Henderson, that a motion to do that? I second the motion. It sounds like an action item to me. So you motion it, I second it. I think it's a great idea for those trainings to reach the entire board, if at all possible, if they have the time.
Thank you. No, I didn't intend it as a motion because I didn't see that there was a financial, well, I guess there is a financial.
Yeah.
There is. So it would be,
component to it.
I think it is an action item.
So
So we
thank you
have
for
a
pointing that out,
person,
Mr. Copeland.
Copeland, from Mr. Henderson, made the motion and Miss Copeland Miller seconded it. So all those in favor of, letting all the board members know and get them to sign up and those funds be available for as many that can attend within our budget guidelines. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? And the motion carried. So we get that information out. I'd appreciate it.
Madam Chair, I
Yes.
will share something based on that vote. I had sent something similar for the FACA conference, since that was the first one and the closest one to. But thank you for the board for providing this recommendation, and I will follow up with the next upcoming meetings as the vote went.
Awesome. Thank you, Derek. All righty. Ms. Gillis, is there anything else?
That's all I have. Thank you.
Okay. Sharon, how much of your thunder did we steal?
You didn't. No thunder stole. Just a reminder that the next CAB meeting is the installation ceremony to transfer officers, and so we'll plan that. And the other item I wanted to bring up is relevant to the FACA conference. 2 awards that I wanted to bring to the ward. There's the Sony Self-Sufficiency Award. Staff is going to submit is going to nominate one of our FEP customers for this particular award. And then we have the Volunteer of the Year Award, which would be more related to the Community Action Board. One of the recommendations I had was you can select a person, an individual person, or you can select a partnership. And one of the suggestions is possibly selecting a partnership, like for the partnerships that we recently had in the program year 2019 with T3 Life, Computer Mentors, and Feeding Tampa Bay. I believe those are the only partnerships we had. And we also have the advisory councils as well. So I just wanted to bring that to your attention and get some feedback as to how you would want to proceed with that.
And I guess that's something we all kind of need to think about. That's not a. Does anybody have any opinion on that? Because that's something I'd kind of really.
I do want to share West Central Region Advisory Council. They partner with the school district, Sanchez, and also the NAACP. We partnered. The West Central Region passed out COVID-19 care packages along with the school district. On April the 22nd, at the first meeting, also some of the board members came out just to get the word out in the community that they were testing at lead agents because it was done, but a lot of people were very apprehensive about coming. So just having an opportunity to be there and have passed out those packages was great to see, and having the community walk up and see people coming up on bicycles and that sort of thing was part of the advisory council outreach in East Tampa, and I thought that was exceptional. And since that time, they saw a lot of people from the community, thousands. So, and in times like now, just to have some of the board members show up was phenomenal for me to assist in that project. But the school district did reach out to the board to see if they could partner with us and give out the COVID-19 care packages, which entail mouthwash, toothpaste, detergent, bleach, hand sanitizer, and wipes, and that kind of stuff. So those were items that the people were glad to get and could certainly use.
Okay.
And they did it on 2 occasions. It was done out in the parking lot as people were leaving the testing site. They were done. I think John Paul identified an area that we could stand away from and not interfere with what was going on. So we lined up the stuff and the people got it on the way out. And a lot of people were really appreciative of those items. That's my
So Sharon, this is Ms. Rosa. Can we have, can we send that information out to the board? I'm not sure of our timeline, and have people send you guys maybe a written recommendation, and then we just do a tally and ask the board to vote, because we're doing this as a unit, on who we want, an individual or an organization, to be submitted as our submission from Hillsborough County for this award.
The deadline is the 31st, and really based reviewing the instructions, there isn't a limit to how many people can be nominated. So basically what happens is that there's a FACA awards committee that will review all the nominations and determine who's selected. So I could send the form to all of the board members, and each of you could individually nominate an individual organization if you would like, and then I can submit that to the FACA awards executive committee.
Well, I think if we, and this is just my opinion, I think if we submit, we should submit as a unit,
Okay.
not as individual board members. I think it show a collective effort, submit as one. That means we narrow it down to maybe one of the submissions as a group, and then submit it. I just, timing is important, and I don't want, I'm hoping that we do our processes where it don't take so much of time to decide, and that the entire board is included, so it's a collective effort. It's just not this group or one or two people deciding on how we submit or who we submit, when we're labeling everything under the entire organization of the board. Okay, makes sense?
Yeah, completely. Well,
Ms. Gordon, what's the name of that award again? I'm sorry.
it's the FACA 2020 Volunteer of the Year Award.
Okay, and that's my point, and that was my point. I thought that's what you said, because when we do partnerships, those are people that we're paying to provide a service. And I think all three of those that you mentioned are organizations that are being paid for a service.
Correct. Well, this is volunteer work and contributions related to the Community Action Network. So it was connected to that. And that's why I recommended the partners that the board voted on to provide services in the community on behalf of the CAB and the Community Action. So yes.
Okay. Yeah.
I kind of agree with Ms. Miller on the fact that it really, to me, it really should be actual volunteers. That's my opinion. It should be actual volunteers, people that give their time and don't get a dime, and put out the commitment that they have to their community, and that's my opinion. That's a volunteer. You get a paycheck, it's not a volunteer. You're getting big finances from the government, it's not a volunteer. I understand where you're coming from, Ms. Gordon, partnerships, but
that makes sense.
Typically, people aren't the ones out there slinging those boxes.
Yeah, I get your point.
But same thing, Madam Chair, though, even though we're looking at volunteer, I agree. Just let the whole board know who we are submitting, give everybody an opportunity to participate. We are a collective group, so.
And choosing that person, I agree, absolutely.
Yeah, that's my concern, just making sure everybody has some input.
Yeah, we have an award here in Plant City that's given out once a month at our Chamber of Commerce network lunch, which we're not having right now because of COVID. But they called the Good Egg Award, and it's somebody in the community that has volunteered their time and done this and done that for the community, and they get the Good Egg Award is what it's called, and it's actually done monthly. But it's people that have volunteered their time and given of themselves in the community to the community. And one of the things is they don't get paid for what they do, but I agree with you. It should be a collaborative effort. Absolutely.
And I agree with Ms. Hill as well, the entire board. So we all on one accord. I know at one point we were recording and reporting our volunteer hours to Derek in lieu of that process. I don't think we've done that in a while, but we do as well capture the volunteer hours from the board as well.
Yeah.
So we give everything. But I
And
agree
we've got-
with Hill, absolutely.
Yeah, we've got people on that list that got some serious hours. So, and maybe people should, get those sheets and get those into Derek as well. Anyways, because
Good afternoon, board members. Those sheets are supposed to have mail outs.
right, and we still should be sending those in. Matter of fact, Derek, if you could let us know when the last meeting was that we turned those in, y'all probably need to play catch up.
I haven't received it since the COVID and the virtual meetings, even though I have been providing them. Everyone can still email me them though.
Right. What was the last actual person-to-person meeting we had? I can't remember. Was it March?
It was February.
February.
Madam Chair,
Yes.
with regards to the volunteer hours, I know I tried to be very diligent in submitting those, but I know I've definitely fallen off the cliff regarding my submissions. But
I do.
at the least, is it, and staff, you definitely chime in on this, but is it possible for staff to be able to look at the minutes to see who was in attendance for the CAB meetings and the other committee meetings?
Mr. Henderson, I do record those, yes, sir.
Okay,
And
so you already, you knew where I
if
was
it's
going with that.
anything regarding a CAB meeting, or if you go to a conference on behalf of CAB, I do record those for you. It's just like if you were to do something outside of that for the community, that there's no way I would have any knowledge of that. I can't record.
Okay, well, that's good to know, because I know I took a lot of time reporting my meetings with the CAB and conferences, but knowing that that's one less thing I have to report on, but anything outside of that is, I think it's what we as members need to understand. So that's good to know. Thank you.
I didn't even put down the CAB or advisory council. I was just putting stuff outside of this. So I didn't even know that. So thank you, Mr. Anderson, for letting me know that is supposed to be. All righty. Well, do you have anything else for us?
Just to ensure that I understood what
I'm
Well,
sorry.
well,
In the background.
we can send the entire CAB information on the volunteer award, and then you'll provide your nomination, and then the CAB wants to vote on everything that has been submitted. Is that what you're requesting?
Is that what we're asking for? I think that's what we're, or, because you said the 31st is the.
The 31st is the deadline. So, but I just want to make sure that that's what you're requesting. You're requesting that you get the information and you submit your nomination by a certain period of time, and then the CAB will vote on who they would like to select out of the list that was discussed.
Yes, that's what I'm asking.
Right.
Well, I'm asking that with a specific timeline.
Okay.
So that folks know if they don't submit it to you by a certain time, theirs won't count, because we don't want to linger on the process, because you have to do your portion to get it to CAB. So we don't put a whole bunch of time lapse in between.
Okay.
If that's okay with the group.
Yeah, that sounds good. And we need to get that out right away, and so people can get it in, and so that sounds like a plan. That sounds like a plan. All righty. So is there anything else?
That is all I have. Thank you.
All righty. Anybody have anything for the good of the order? All righty. Well, with that being said, I am going to call this meeting of the Executive Board 1:06 as our ending time. And you guys have a great rest of the week and the weekend. And I will see you at our next meeting. And I guess you guys will get with me about how we're going to do the installation. The staff will get with me about how we're going to pull that one off. because I've got to get this to Miss Hill somehow.
Yeah.
So, we'll figure that all out. So, all righty. So y'all have a nice weekend.
They will, everybody.
Have a good evening.
Thank you. Have a
Take
great
care.
day.
Thank you, everyone.